Hey there, fellow sports gamblers. It's Steel Picks for you with the 5 best NBA playoff prize picks and underdog free picks for today, May 24th. Before we get into today's picks, let's see what happened for us yesterday. Jared Allen had 3 defensive rebounds to go under the 5.5 defensive rebounds we said he'd go under. Josh Hart had 12 points and 5 assists, just below the 17.5 points and assists we said he'd go under. Max Strus had no first quarter points to go under the 2.5 first quarter points we said he'd go under. James Harden was 8 for 15 from the field to go over the 12.5 field goal attempts we said he'd go over. But James Harden was 2 for 3 from the free throw line to go under the 5.5 free throw attempts we said he'd go over. 4 out of 5 is good, but let's see if we can't put together an immaculate ticket for today. First up, we have De'Aaron Fox over 14.5 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, as you can see, De'Aaron Fox has been able to do this in 6 consecutive games that he's played, and in his last game, just barely at the 15. However, the San Antonio Spurs are down 2-1 and do not want to go back to Oklahoma City down 3-1. I certainly expect De'Aaron Fox to be a major contributor with regards to whether that happens or not. So he's certainly going to be putting his game on the line and making sure that they get back to Oklahoma City with a tied series. So for the other stats that we have, stats and analytics are always wonderful. As you can see, he's been playing some pretty consistent minutes in the playoffs. And in this first game back in game 3, he played 30.7 minutes, took quite a few shots. Took 14, made 7 of them. From the free throw line, wish he would have got there a little bit more. He did not get there at all. So understanding the sense of urgency and the gravity of the situation, I certainly think that De'Aaron Fox is going to put his best foot forward. And now that he's got that first game kind of under his belt, he had missed a few games with the high ankle sprain. I think we're going to see De'Aaron Fox do his thing. I think he's going to be over 14.5 points. Novig likes this as well, as they have him at the -113. Next up, we have Devin Vassell, over 16.5 points and assists. Now, as you can see at this number right here, he's only been able to do that in 4 of the 10 playoff games that he has played. However, in the last 2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 22 and 20. So on points alone, he's gone over this 16.5 points and assists. I see no reason why he won't continue to do so, most notably because the way the defense is rotating when Victor Wembanyama is in the paint and they kick the ball back out, De'Aaron Fox, they double team Dylan Harper. But for whatever reason, they leave Devin Vassell wide open, and so far he's been making quite a few of those shots. And as you can see, he's been playing some pretty consistent. As you can see, the last 2 games against OKC, 37.5, 36.1. And those 3-pointers that I was talking about before, in game 2, he took 12 of those, made 6. That's 50%, already over the 16.5 that we're talking about. And in game 3, he took 6, made 3. Pretty good there as well. And he was also getting to the free throw line in game 3, getting to the free throw line 5 times, making 5 of those with no time coming off the clock. We always like that. So Devin Vassell, over 16.5 points and assists. As you can see, Novig likes this as well, as they have him at the -104. Next up, we have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, over 13.5 rebounds. Now, as you can see, he's been able to do this in 7 of his last 10 games. But what I want you to kind of focus on and pay attention to is what happened in the game after he didn't get over 13.5 rebounds. So we're looking at game 4 right here, where he had 4 rebounds. In game 5, he had 17. In game 6, against the Minnesota Timberwolves, he had 6. In his first game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he had 24. Follow that up with 17. And game 3 against Oklahoma City Thunder, he had 4. I definitely think that you can see where this is going. Victor Wembanyama is going to come back playing his redemption song, and is definitely going to be crashing the boards, wanting to make his presence of authority known. And I believe that he is going to get over the 13.5 rebounds. And in addition, they also do not want to go back to Oklahoma City down 3-1. And the refs don't want that to happen either. The NBA doesn't want that to happen either. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy theory. I am just saying that they will probably call it a little bit more lenient towards the Spurs side of things. And Victor Wembanyama crashing the boards certainly going to be helpful in that case. As you can see, he's been playing plenty of minutes, 37 in game 2, 39 in game 3, and definitely crashing the boards in games 1 and 2. Game 3 fell off, but again, you can see what happened after the fall off in both of the other series. He's been able to rebound quite nicely, no pun intended. So I think that Victor Wembanyama is going to get over the 13.5 rebounds. As you can see, Novig likes this as well at the minus 114. And since we're on that subject of Victor Wembanyama, I think he's also going to be under 3.5 blocks. Now, the reason that I say this, as you can see, he's been under that in 4 of his last 5 games, but most notably against Oklahoma City Thunder. You notice that he's only been able to do that once, to go over the 3.5 blocks. And the biggest reason for that is that Oklahoma City understands that they're playing against the Defensive Player of the Year, and they've been a little bit reluctant to get to the hole. You can see quite the impact on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's game, as his mid-range has somewhat been taken away from him, and he's been shooting a lot of threes, trying to drive when Victor Wembanyama is not in the game, trying to get fouled to go to the free throw line. But they have changed their strategy and are not crashing or going to the hole as much, understanding that the Defensive Player of the Year is standing back there, waiting to block their shot. So not as many opportunities as he would like. As you can see, the minutes, of course, the same as last time. Victor's going to play a whole bunch of minutes, but I don't think that he is going to get over 3.5 blocks. So I like the under 3 as well at the minus 112. And as a friendly reminder, when you sign up with BETR using my promo code WINCASH, you'll receive 2 anytime tokens worth up to $100 each. And when you sign up with Novig using my STEELEWINS promo code and spend $5, you'll get an extra $50 bonus, more cash with which to make wagers on player props. Good luck, everyone. And last but not least, we have Jalen Williams over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think that maybe there could be some recency bias, fellow sports gamblers. I'm not going to lie to you. I was quite surprised in the way that Jalen Williams was able to take care of business in game 3 on the road, just going absolutely crazy from 3-point range, ending the game with 18 points and 5 rebounds. Incredible. And 1 assist, incredible. Certainly, I want to say, I don't want to say an out-of-body experience, but wow, I was certainly impressed with that performance. And in game 2, he was able to get over that 10.5 points, rebounds, assists threshold, just barely with the 11. But what I was seeing is when the ball swings around, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not getting his mid-range as much as he would like, when the ball swings around with the other Jalen Williams in the lineup, Jalen Williams seems to be the wide open guy. And to his credit, he's been able to knock down the 3 ball. And that's going to be critical in game 4 if they want to go back to Oklahoma City up 3-1. As you can see with regards to minutes, been playing a consistent amount of minutes, and you can see the incredible spike from game 2 to game 3, 22 minutes. And you can see with the 3 points made, wow, 2 for 6 in game 2 and then 5 for 6 in game 3. Incredible. Free throw line, not so much, but you can see he went from nothing in the last 4 of the last 5 games, but 3 for 3 from the line in game 3. So you put all those factors together, certainly thinking that Jalen Williams is capable of going over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And as you can see, Prizepicks likes this as well, as they have him at the minus 119. So to recap, we have De'Aaron Fox over 14.5 points, Devin Vassell over 16.5 points and assists, Victor Wembanyama over 13.5 rebounds, Victor Wembanyama under 3.5 blocks, and Jalen Williams over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And in addition, my 3-leg parlay is Victor Wembanyama under 3.5 blocks, Jalen Williams over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Victor Wembanyama over 13.5 rebounds. That's the 5 picks I have for you today. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Steel Picks for you, and good luck, everyone.